Hey, what's up, guys? It's METAGAMESGX here, and we are going to be taking a look at Alan Conchalo's Branded Despia Central America WCQ list from this weekend. I want to take a look at it, talk about it, and then talk about Branded going into the next format. And I also have his matchups too. So we can talk about that as well, because I know the list is out, but he was able to tell me some insight on the list. Shout out to Alan too for doing so well. He's honestly one of the Branded goats out here. He once again just represents the deck so well at every event he goes to, so definitely shout out to him. And I do like his list. He's starting off with the one Magnemite here, with the 2 Saronir, and then 1 Bystial Lubellion. So of course we have the small Bystial package. He is choosing to run the 1 Magnemite over the third Saronir, which is something that other lists have kind of gone back and forth between. I kind of like this for consistency. I mean, he could probably went the 52 with 3 Saronir, but I feel like this definitely worked out for him. And then he has the 3 Fuelos. We've talked about this in the TCG before, but I think Fuelos is one of your best cards in Branded in order to combat the meta, right? Like, Fuelos forces decks like Malice to still end on their Fua board, which is a lot better than their full end board, and then also against other decks like Mermail, and then just obviously the big dogs in the house like the Ryzeal variants. You just need to see card advantage in order to play through these things. Also, in the side deck with the Droll and Lockbirds, very important for these FTKs going around. So like Droll helps you, or sorry, Fuelos helps you get there. It is a little conflicting with Droll, but like I think you just need it for this format, and we've just seen the card advantage is just so good in a deck like Branded. And then he's running the 1 Shrouded Dragon. I do like the 1 Shrouded Dragon, and because this is something I've considered in the Malice format, because it's not the most important card. So if you need to run other cards, you can just run this at 1. You do just have to resolve 1. It's nice to hard open, but when you're only running 1, it is kind of just fine at the end of the day. He is running the 2 Cartesia, of course, with the 1 Quem. He said that his logic with that he told me was that searchable once per turn. I just don't like to see 2 or more at the same opening hand. And then also we see the 2 Mercurier with the Allura Darkness package, just helping you board break essentially. And I think 2 Mercurier is always great for the grind game, of course. And the 1 Quem, that is something where he felt like it was like shrouded essentially, because you know, if you need it, you need it. But a lot of the time you can just make your end board around it. So I mean, you know, it is nice for the grind game, but for instance, he's only running 1 Grand Guignol, so I think that makes sense in the end. And if you're only running the 1 Grand Guignol, I think you could make that Quem concession. You're just, you know, it's what you want to do for your grind game. And then also 1 kit, 1 Despian Tragedy, and then 3 Aluber kit also for the free Branded Spirit line with like high spirits, and then branded with like something like a Fuelos, or like even going full combo, playing around hand traps with the Bystials, very good. And then 1 Branded Fusion, 3 Branded in high spirits, 1 Branded in red, no Branded in white, which is interesting, but he is running the 1 Branded Banishment because he is running the Light and Darkness Dragon Lord, so which is something that he said was very good. We make the full board of interruptions, and Light and Darkness Dragon Lord sometimes it's too much pressure, so he was only side decking the Idol Lock, he said, for that reason. And he also said the Idol Lock didn't come up too much, but he said he was glad it was there. But yeah, so we do see the standard Branded package, but he's running 51 cards less. I think 50 cards is just the most consistent way to run Branded at the moment. So that totally makes a lot of sense to me. And then he is running the 3 Super Poly, and then 3 Fusion Deployment, and then the 1 Triple Tactics Talents with the 3 Thrust. Of course, those are very good cards, and you know, standard and Branded in the TCG. And then 1 Called by 2 Droplet. He is running the Droplet though, but he's also running Book of Eclipse. Alan said it was the MVP. It was amazing. It made the whole difference. It saved me. It helped me win mini games. It was really good specifically into Ryzeal Mitsurugi, even 2 times with Malice to set their field so they couldn't start to link summon, and the other 2 times to avoid targeting. So I think even like with the downturn of Malice, I think we could consider going back to Book of Eclipse for that reason. So I'm definitely going to be testing that out in the TCG, because it's great going first and it's great going second. I mean, at least it could turn off the Mitsu Ryzeal board, right, in theory. Especially game 1 without the Omni, so that's actually a really smart inclusion. He's still running the Allura Darkness, which makes a lot, or sorry, the Droplet with the Allures and the Fua, which makes sense. You need to draw something with and you can use your card advantage really well with the Fuas and the Droll. And then 1 Banishment because of the Lad line, of course. So he's making Lad on his first turn end board, probably with Mirror Jade. And then 2 Albion, 1 Quertus, and the extra deck, 1 Lubellion, 1 Mirror Jade. 1 Mirror Jade's a little surprising to me, but also he is making room for tons of toolbox, so that makes sense because he's running a Proskinion, a Lad, a Starving Venom, a Garura, and Stapelia, so a Super Poly is going to be more live than live, right? Like when he draws Super Poly, it is going to get him there, and when he's running so much card advantage between the Fuas and the Allures, it makes a lot of sense to me. The one Mirror Jade, when he has so many other option trees to go down, if they get rid of the one Mirror Jade, he still has Stapelia, or he still has the Proskynion and then the Lad. So I think that's really important. And Starving Venom is really just solid into cracking a lot of the Mitsu boards right now, or even Malice. So it just makes a lot of sense why he is running it. I just ordered my QCR, for instance. And then in the side deck, he's running 3 Perulia and then 1 Ido with the lock package. He's choosing to side the Sanctifier so he can actually main more options than the main deck, which makes a lot of sense to me. That's actually something I could start considering to do, because I like maining the Sanctifier, but even for Fualos, I think you can still... He's running the Lad, so you can just go Albion, summon Lubellion, and then that's 1 draw, and you still get the Lad, right? So that's... And plus... follow up with Branded Lost, so I think that's what he's going for there. And then also 3 Droll, 3 Lancia, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Fusion Duplication, and then the Mud Dragon, which I really do like as well, because Mud Dragon, I think, is very good into Vanquish Soul, because you can really hit 2 of their monsters, their fire monsters, essentially, on field. There's a lot of board states where they have 2 fire monsters on board, so just the Mud Dragon's great for the Vanquish Soul matchup. I don't think this was post-Duad, though, so this is something that you have to consider. But I think post-Duad, I think this list goes incredibly well into Duad, frankly. I think the Book of Eclipses are just great into Vanquish Soul. So this is probably what you want to be on, relatively speaking, with Branded going into the next format. Maybe some concessions, right? He is still maining... Like, I think Droll is very important next format for Vanquish Soul, right? Because they can still Paradise Smashers, and there's a lot of FTKs, so I think Droll might be main deckable at this point. But we'll have to talk about that. Now, I do want to talk about what the other notes on the deck that Alan told us about. So I never needed Ido or Sanctifier to manage to win Duel 1 when I opened, when we make full board of interruptions. So basically, he doesn't need a game 1. And then even just Light and Darkness Dragonlord was sometimes so much, and more Fusion Dupe in the side deck because our Fusions do way too much. Didn't miss Artifact Sanctum, Dimensional Barrier, or Thrust targets. And this is something I've always... really advocated for, was the multiple fusion duplication in the side deck, because it really helps you to play through hand traps going first. You don't need D-Barrier, you don't need Sanctum, right? Like you resolving Branded Fusions way better than anything. It only sucks when you get Imperm passed, I think, but like you're not triggering Thrust anyway, so like I think that just having more copies and also adding that onto your end board is so strong, right? It's just like doubling your end board, essentially, having a Fusion Dupe in the pocket. He has so many different options to go down, so I really do like that. And then also with the 1 Quem, like I mentioned, he applied the same logic as Shroud. If I see it, if I search it, good. If I don't, also good. I just continue to play with what I have, because his standard combo is the Light and Darkness Dragonlord line, right? And then his matchups were round 1 was a Branded Mirror match that he won. Round 2 was Blue Eyes. Round 3 was Mermal, and he won the Mermal matchup. That's crazy. Round 4 was Mitsurugi Ryzeal. Round 5 was Mitsurugi Orcus. And then round 6 was Mitsurugi Ryzeal. That was his first draw. And then round 7 was non-win, I guess. Round 7 was Malice. He won. Round 8 was Malice. He lost. And then round 9 was Malice, and he won. So he won 2 out of his 3 Malice games. What a Branded champion, because Malice is one of our hardest matchups, right? If you lose the die roll, it's just not looking good. And even then, they have just like Impulse and like Bestial, so they can do a lot against you. But I think going first against them, you obviously have just such a great time, and he is side decking the Lancia, which certainly helped. And then top 64, this was the top 64 nationals too, so very big. Mitsurugi Fiendsmith, and he won against that. And then top 32 was Mitsurugi Ryzeal, and he lost. So he only dropped 2 games, so that was very impressive, and won against a ton of meta. Started off with a Branded Mirror match, though, so that's pretty cool. He took the gauntlet. He was like proving he was the best Branded player, So I appreciate Alan. He's the go over there. And I look forward to seeing what he does in the future with the deck, obviously. So I do appreciate him sharing the list with the community and telling us some notes for you guys to take the deck. If you guys are wondering what I'd run into Duad, it's generally this. I'm going to have a guide out probably tomorrow or the next day for Duad and stuff like that. So like, Dogmac Alba system and stuff like that. You're gonna probably have to run also raw sphere mode for the Loonlight matchup, but we'll talk about that in the next video. So if you guys want to see that, make sure this video gets to 100 likes. Comment down below what you guys thought of the list, and with that being said, subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the road to 20,000 subscribers, and also new branded support announced if you haven't already saw that. New branded structure deck coming out in the in October 25th of 2025, and it has 2 new cards confirmed. I'm hoping we get more cards than that, but we'll see if it's just 2 new support cards. Even then, if it's 2 new support cards on the level of the new striker stuff, I will take it. You know, just give us 1 extra card and 1 main deck monster, and that just makes our combos so much better, right? And our ability to play through hand traps and board break. I will totally take that, and I'm very much looking forward to that. So when those drop, of course, we're going to be talking about it. And so let me know down below if you guys saw that and what you guys want to see for the new support. But with that being said, subscribe today, and we'll be seeing you guys later. Check out all the links down below. Bye now, guys.